for every adversity that life gives you, it also gives you a seed of equal opportunity. But we have to nurture that seed.
I'm talking about the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've said it in has left. Because I think we all know in this room, character is not something that we inherit. Character is something we got to wake up every single day. We got to fight and we got to build it.
Sometimes the biggest fear you have is that you failed, you made too many mistakes. And as a result of making too many mistakes, that you don't deserve a second chance.
If you search for something hard enough, you will convince yourself that you have found what you're searching for.
I can control my attitude. I can control my words. I can control my perspective. I can control the lens in which I see it. Because if I can control what I can control in the moment, what's happening externally is not going to affect and impact my true potential and my true advancement as a person.
You weren't born to be average. You weren't born to be just good enough. You weren't born to just be above average. You were born to be unique and to be amazing. You were born to be something so significant that when the day comes for you to die, there's mourning that happens all over the earth.
When the situation or the moment does not go our way, because we all know what to do when it goes right. But when God says no, who will you be? But most importantly, who's watching you and who can be blessed by the opposition, the adversity, and the challenge that you're facing?
You might want something. You might want a better life. You might want to have a fit and athletic body. You might want to have a better relationship. You might want to start making more money and win your financial freedom. You might want to have better self-control, self-mastery. You might want to have greater confidence. Whatever those things you want, they're on the other side of the enough is enough moment that you must have.
Because you're not everything you could be, and you know it. What would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you?
Successful people understand this, guys. Successful people do not use tired as an excuse. In fact, they understand that if they push through the tired, everybody else stops when they're tired. And so by pushing through the tired, you actually create a gap between you and everybody else that you're competing with. And here's another thing that happens when you're tired. Because no one else ever pushes through when they're tired, and because you're someone that always pushes through when you're tired, you learn this unique skill set that allows you to operate at a high level when you're tired.
It's okay to be unbalanced for a while. It's okay. Don't be all this stuff people say. You got to be balanced. To be the best in the world at what you do, you have to be unbalanced to find every bit of energy and strength that you have to pull it off. Then you get balanced once you become great. And it takes being obsessed to where people think you're crazy.
It's going to feel a little bit unfamiliar, uncomfortable. And if you can relax into that, instead of going back to the past, continuously invest in your future, sooner or later, it'll become easier and easier and easier. And all of a sudden, when you least expect it, something amazing is going to happen in your life. And when that event begins to occur, you're going to pay attention to what you did inside of you now.
That's why you got to work on yourself. Because life will send you some curves you cannot anticipate. Whatever you do, you want to develop technical mastery. You want to be the best at what you do. You want to master it. See, part of self-motivation is you've got to find something that gives you a strong sense of competence. Well, you become known for that. You develop a reputation of being good at doing that. You set some high personal standards for yourself. You're not competing with anybody else. You're just unfolding yourself to be the best person that you could be.
Like waking up and being in the spirit of gratitude, right? And just being grateful before we even start our day. Just waking up with it on our mind. Man, I'm grateful that I get the opportunity to do this week, right? It's almost that pressing, that perspective of, I don't have to do it, I get to do it.
It's Thoreau's quote, that most men live lives of quiet desperation. It's one of my favorite quotes ever because it's true. And I've been that guy. You're just in this world where you just can't wait to just run away.
Do you know what happens the minute you were born? You start to fucking die. And as you grow up, time and gravity and the elements put a stress on your system. And every day that you get up, there are forces working to wear you out. This is just called life. We have to constantly battle against the breakdown of our own strength, our own energy, and our own mental capacity.
So what that you come from a small town? So what that you come from a small school? So what that you came and got your degree from a place that no one's heard of? They didn't need to know about the college, they needed to know about you. They needed to listen and hear the lessons that are embedded inside of you because of what you've gone through. There are people that have roamed the earth the rest of their lives, being confident and comfortable with being average, but that's not you.
That's the only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous, and most people want to take the safe path. And the safe path leaves you stuck in quiet desperation.
There is a difference between passion and obsession. When you're passionate, everybody cheers you on. They're stoked for you. Oh, you found your passion? Awesome. Follow your passion. Live with passion. When you're obsessed, they're like, why are you gonna be so crazy? Why do you always gotta get things so perfect? Why do you spend so much time here? When you're obsessed, people think you're nuts. If no one thinks you're crazy, you're not yet operating to the outer limits of your potential.
We don't rise to our ambitions, we fall to our standards. So you don't have what you want, you have what you are willing to accept. The key to life is not necessarily to just raise your ambitions, it's to raise your standards. What you need to do is set higher standards for yourself and refuse to bend. Force life to bend to your will. And you do that by raising your standards.
Because the people who go all in, the motherfuckers who burn the shits and leave themselves no other option but success, those people are dedicating all their skills, all their resources, all their energy into producing a specific outcome. And if you're competing against someone who's going all in with every resource they have, and you're only going half in because you're half in and you're half fucking out, guess what? You're gonna lose.
Come to the realization very clearly that you fucked up, and you got yourself stuck. So whatever you're doing, you have to do it like your life depends on it. Whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. You got to go. You got to get after it. And you got to have discipline. Most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand what it's like to really go for something. And to know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific.
But they're normal people that knew they needed to make a change. And they decided they were going to make a change, and then they made it. And that is what I do. And that is what you can do too. If you have something to change, if you want to change something, change it.
To produce the effect outside of you. And that's called human empowerment. And there isn't a person in the world that's excluded from this equation.
Visualization is one of the challenges. And part of that is not just visualizing success or living in the reality of achieving what you're setting out to achieve, but also visualizing how you're going to navigate all the obstacles that are going to get thrown in your path.
Develop a health plan. So you can't feel well and do well if you don't have good health. You can't perform if you don't have your health. Your health is valuable. Develop a health plan. A plan that you will follow, because this is the only vehicle that you have to carry you through this experience called life. And you want to take good care of it because you love you enough. You care enough about you. And that's not easy. It is not easy having a health plan and sticking to it. But you're worth it doing it again and again and again.
life isn't fair. That's the reality. And a good person in the wrong place, in the wrong time, can end up just a victim of fate.
And you know what I'm trying to say by telling you this? I'm trying to tell you that being tired is part of the fucking game. Okay? So it's not a valid excuse. It's normal. It's a constant. It's part of being human. And if you want to be a high achiever, guess what? You're going to have to acclimate yourself to being fucking tired way more than you're not tired.
You start to become civilized. The refrigerator gets full. You start making money, and you start not getting cold anymore. I'm retired because I'm not allowing myself to become civilized. The worst thing that can happen to a man is become civilized. You lose that fucking fight. You lose that. Why the fuck am I doing it? I'm good. You ain't good, man. You ain't never fucking arrived. And that's just my mentality. You may have more, but you never can arrive. You want to be uncommon amongst uncommon people.
This is the instinct that says, you've had enough. This is the instinct that says, you've given it your best shot. You can stand down. You can back off. You can take a knee. This is the instinct that says, you can rest now. Do not listen to that instinct. Do not listen. That instinct is a liar and wants to bring you down. That's the instinct that's a defense mechanism. It wants to give you an out, a place to run to, little place of sympathy.
I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful. That was my philosophy. It seems like a pretty simple one, but if you live your life to just get better every single day, and do that for 20 years, what do you have?
You start choosing your peace. You start choosing your joy. You start choosing you. You start choosing your worth above everything. Everything else will fall into place. Because the greatest feeling in the world, God, the greatest feeling in the world is execution. The greatest feeling in the world is doing what you said you were going to do. There's no greater feeling in the world.
The only way anything gets accomplished, you gotta work hard. I can't remember what the f***'s in this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read it again. Still not getting it. Read it again. But if you're not getting it, write it out. And guess what happened? I got it. I can't swim. I'm negative buoyant. Go back again. I can't swim. Go back again. Go back again. Go back again. I got it. I realize if I keep going back and going back and going back, your mind will say, okay, we're going to figure it out, because he is not going to stop.
So whatever it is you're trying to be, whatever it is you're trying to do, work on becoming the type of person that would actually have that. Stop and ask yourself, what do these people do? What are their habits? What are the skills that they have? What are their routines they follow? And start to become that now. And then the rest of life will start to materialize around you.